All right, blue-black Reanimator. To start with, what does Reanimator mean? So Reanimator in Magic is what we use to refer to decks that are bringing powerful creatures back from their graveyard ahead of schedule a little bit. So in this deck, our tools for getting creatures back from the discard pile is Blood for Bones here. So you sacrifice a creature and you return a creature from your discard pile to the battlefield. You return another creature from your graveyard to your hand. And then we have Bond of Revival, which returns a creature directly to play without any extra cost and gives it haste, which is neat. Our top end bombs here are 3 copies of Zetalpa, the Primal Dawn, which is just a big beefy bomb that we can't cast. And then I've also elected to include 2 copies of Nezahal, the Primal Tide. While this is a little bit worse than Zetalpa, this card is castable as the game goes along, which is nice. Yeah, actually, that's a good question. So Black Sheep asked, can you return the creature you sacrificed to your hand with Blood for Bones? You can. And the way you know that by reading the rules text of Blood for Bones is if you'll notice here, neither the creature you're returning to play or the creature you're returning to your hand are targeted. So you pick them while you are resolving the spell. That's actually exceptionally sweet with the card Cavalier of Night, because what you can actually do with Blood for Bones and the Cavalier is you can sacrifice the Cavalier to cast your Blood for Bones and return the same Cavalier back to play to get its enter the battlefield effect again. So like if you have this in play and you really need to kill something and you have another creature, you can play this, sack it, and get it back, which is neat. The reason why I have the 3-3 split here is because I'm not really sure which of these 2 cards is more optimal. Someone asked, are we sure 24 lands is enough? I'm very confident 24 lands is enough, because you'll note here, then this is one of the things that makes building decks and mana base so complicated in Magic. While my curve is a little high for 24 lands on the surface, I have Benthic Biomancer, which draws extra cards. I have Fblthp, which draws extra cards. I have Chart of Course, which draws extra cards. I have Thought Erasure, which surveils. I have this, which sees extra cards. So we have all of these cheap effects that allow me to see extra cards in the early game. So that allows me to kind of play slightly fewer lands than my deck would otherwise want, but still hit my lands consistently. We have Rotting Regisaur here too. So a lot of these effects discard cards as well. So these various cards are how we get these big fatties into our discard pile so we can put them into play on turn 4 with Blood for Bones, for instance. I saw someone mention Stitcher Supplier. Stitcher Supplier is not a constructed playable Magic card in Standard. It's just, we only have 5 things that we're reanimating from our graveyard anyways, so I would much rather have precision discard to pick what I'm binning, rather than just like hopelessly milling 3, hoping to hit one of my 5 outs. Yeah, we also just have like the, let's play a 2-2 on turn 1 basically, and then a 7-6 on turn 3 and like attack. Fblthp and the Merfolk both pressure things like Teferi nicely. Or taking Narset off the table is also important because we have a lot of cards that draw cards. Yeah, that's true. If there were like really good flashback spells, Stitcher Supplier might be playable. Like if Burial Rage was legal, that card would be super playable. But that is definitely not the standard format we're living in right now. Thanks everyone for hanging out today. By the way, welcome. Got 1,800 people in here. If you're someone who's new because you can't watch Twitch during the day, I stream full time here. I'm generally on Monday through Friday, about 8 a.m. Central Time till about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon Central Time. If you're enjoying my content and can't make it out for that live schedule, be sure to check out my website and my YouTube channel, because absolutely everything I stream gets archived in both of those places, and I cut everything up by deck so you can easily search for just decks that you personally find interesting. Are we gonna miss Blast Zone? It's possible that we can afford to play some colorless lands in our mana base, but I'm electing to be conservative to start and not play any. So maybe I could like cut to a basic island and a basic swamp for a couple colorless lands, but I think if someone's playing like stuff like Grafdigger's Cage and Leyline of the Void, I just like cut my graveyard cards and just like turn into a blue-black mid-range deck. Burper, when you ask me to time you out, Twitch automatically takes your sword away. having these miscellaneous cheap creatures like Fblthp and the Adapt Merfolk also give us fodder to sacrifice to Cavalier of Night. Were you shuffling? I tapped my desk. Maybe you heard that. I do not have my shuffling deck out at the moment. I should find that. I don't know where it went. I like cleaned my office and it disappeared. It's a pretty good draw. This card's got Lifelink and Death Touch, which is great. Yes, yeah, when the Cavalier dies, it picks it back up. Honestly, it's possible I want more Fblthps in this deck. Hey, Terabyte Chris, thanks for the half a year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. And Daimar, thank you for re-upping your Prime. Welcome back. This is a card that's notably, it's probably unplayably bad against Narset decks. This attack was probably bad here. I guess I don't really want to block here. Am I playing Tomebound or am I attacking and playing Chart Course? I think I'm just playing Tomebound. Are we doing it, chat? I think we're doing it. We'll turn 5/7/7 with haste. I think this classifies as it. If they want to attack, I'm going to block. Because if they want to spend a mana and trade this for my Lich, I think I'm okay with that. Because this has Death Touch, so they trade off. Beep, beep. Worth noting, this is worse than Zetalpa here. Still probably fine, though. Honestly, this Cavalier might be the game. Because the Cavalier's a 4/4 with lifelink, which is, like, pretty good. Aggro deck's gonna have a hard time racing that. This card, this has probably been the most impressive of the Cavaliers for me. It's very good against both mid-range and aggro. Both the removal aspect of it and the lifelink aspect against aggro. Yeah, I thought about Connive Concoct, but I really like the ability to... I really like the ability to get... The haste seems valuable. Is my TLDR. Watch this. Get Fblthp back. Draw a card. Blood for bones. Sack my Fblthp. Get my Cavalier back. It's a good... My sideboard might leave a little bit to be desired. I should probably have a couple copies of Cast Down in here, or of Nyx's Cruelty, thinking about it. I got a couple Noxious Grasps that are going to be fine here, but I think I should probably have a couple Cruelties in here. This Scholar of Ages and Agent of Treachery, this might be too much top end of the sideboard. These are interesting reanimate targets against control. So I was thinking like we'd swap out the Zetalpas against control for these cards. I think I'm actually going to trim Rotting Regisaur here, because my opponent has instant speed spot removal that kills it, and they have plenty of blockers. They're just going to like throw speed bumps in front of it. Maybe I'm supposed to cut all of the Rotting Regisaurs and bring in the Vraska's Contempts. I can see that. Foil Leyline of the Void. I would sell the crap out of those. Just ship it. Yeah, this is fine. Toss the extra swamp here. I'd sell ASAP. Already listed. Smart. Brutal. This is quite the combo. So this gets bigger if anybody lost 4 life. So you could just pay 4 life to put a 1/1 counter on your thing. Looking like we're gonna get run over this game. Taking 7 on this attack. I'm gonna play a 1-drop here as well because I shocked in a land. That was an excellent draw. Praise be to the Death Touch. I think I'm gonna ditch this. No, let's ditch that. Noxious Grasp cleans up the Lieutenant. If they don't have a way to kill this next turn, I get to bump here and trade, which is nice because again, Death Touch is wonderful. Hopefully we can chart a course into another land and then Noxious Grasp as well next turn. Get rid of this. And this can trade here eventually, assuming they don't hit the City's Blessing. They're going to hit the City's Blessing, yep. Yikes. The Vampire deck's been pretty impressive a lot of the times that I've seen it. Maybe I do want these Rotting Regisaurs as just like beefcakes that block. Maybe I do want them as things that block. Yeah, this is good, right? They have a super aggressive start. We might be in a little bit of trouble, but I get to go Erasure into Tomebound Lich, and I've got Cavalier plus Bond of Revival. I see people talking about the paper misprint in chat. Personally, I think you should treasure those as relics, because like when Magic's a really mature game, like you know, like when it's like 25 or 26 years old, misprints like that aren't gonna happen. I'm sure things will really be tightened up by the time this game's been around that long. Alright. Draw a card, discard a card. That's a blood for bones. Do I just ditch the Cavalier here and then plan to blood for bones it out next turn? I think that's a good plan. That sounds reasonable, just like a 4/5 lifelinker. Like, I'm not gonna get to use its ability, unfortunately, but that's like not a big deal. Oh, I guess they can shoot this, huh? They can sack a vamp and kill this. That's fine. I still have Bond of Revival. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. This card's really sweet. Nice and pushed. Found a piece of candy. So they didn't offer the block there, right? So, or they didn't offer the trade. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attack them. Because I would like to loot. And then I'm going to go ahead and Bond of Revival the Cavalier of Night here, I think. Which lets me sack this to kill this. Oh, D-Spark's brutal. D-Spark puts a kink in my plans. We're gonna get to blood for bones, like get back a Tomebound Lich with its trigger. And then yeah, that's a little rough. Soren doesn't do a whole lot on his own, at least. Alright, just looking for a threat. Perfect. There's only 2 Nezahals in my deck. Not that you'd ever know, based on how this game's gone.
I bestow a mighty curse.
Yeah, the Vampire Tribal deck seems really sweet.
That will cost you dearly.
It's a shame we keep drawing one of our 2 copies of this and none of our 3 copies of the White Dino. Hey, Manny, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm actually going to go ahead and keep this in my hand for now, because this can discard 3 cards to protect itself. So if they, like, draw a D-Spark or a Mortify here, I'll draw a card from its trigger, and then I can discard the 3 cards in my hand to protect it. I also have, like, Charticors, and I have the Adapt creature that could draw a card and discard a card. All right, with that draw, we're definitely in a position to race here. Let's Noxious Grasp that one. Yeah, I think I want a couple other cheap removal spells in my sideboard. I think I have too much top end for the control matchup right now. Probably gonna trim some of those extra fatties and put some cast downs in. Come on, come on. 9. Sure. This is a discard outlet for this too, huh? Technically speaking. Also a discard outlet. Again, gonna hold on to those lands in case they draw a removal spell for my Tide. So that means they're not dead on board because they can block, pay 4, and they can trade here. So they'll go to 1. Gives them a chance to, like, maybe draw something. I'd be surprised if they had a comeback mechanic from this position. That attack leaves you dead on board. So it seems like a bad move. Let's try and draw a removal spell here. Or the haste spell. Sure. They could jump and not pay 4, that's true. That's true, yeah. So it doesn't technically leave them dead on board. Is a fair assessment. I mean, like, it's not like that big of a deal that we're drawing the lands, right? Like, we're still ahead here. I take it back, 24 lands enough. Yeah, right? So one thing I'd like to point out, it's good to point out in situations like this. So there's 2 lands in my bin. There's 4 lands in my hand. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've drawn 11 lands this game. And some people would say, well, we're flooding. We're not really flooding here because I've drawn 27 cards in my deck. The number of lands I've seen in proportion to the number of cards I've drawn this game is very close to the average amount of lands I would expect to draw in a game. This kills them, lol. So we've seen a lot of lands, but we've also just seen a lot of cards. So we're gonna see a lot of lands when we see a lot of cards. Hey, Jade Shavir, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Let's throw a couple more pieces of spot removal. Let's sideboard, shall we? I want a couple of, do I want Tyrant Scorn or Cast Down? I like that Scorn can protect their own threats on occasion. Bouncing this every once in a while might be okay. Hey, Barry, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Since we had a Twitch Prime sub train.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
All right, cast down does hit the. Yeah, I like the idea of cast down to kill the 5/4. I like that idea. I'm gonna cut the. What do I think is the better bomb? Would you rather have Agent of Treachery or Scholar of the Ages? Trevor the Pyro, thanks for the brand new Prime support, and Barry, welcome as well. I think I'd rather have Scholar actually. Scholar's bad against Graveyard Hate. I'm actually gonna leave. I'm gonna keep the Agents and cut the Scholars. Scorn's better against Feather. That's a fair comparison. I have Noxious Grasp for that matchup though, and like Cast Down is fine there. I could also just play we could play Cruelty. Cruelty covers a lot of those bases, right? It's a little bit more expensive. Let's play Cruelty. I think that card's pretty reasonable right now. For people that are confused as to what I'm looking for a card to do, I'm just looking for another piece of cheap-ish spot removal for the creature matchups. So people are suggesting things like Ugin are a little bit off base. Really enjoy your content and supporting such a great individual. The growth of your channel really shows how awesome you are. Well, thanks for keeping me around, Brimstone. I appreciate the 3 months. Welcome back. And the Hobbit Bob coming in with that brand new Prime support. Happy Saturday, folks. Remember, if you're someone new that's never been here before and you're enjoying my content, I'm going to be gone for another 5 or 6 hours today probably, but you also check out my website and my YouTube channel for lots more content from myself. Is this fine? I feel like this is fine. This might be our first game where we just like double Regisaur and beat them down with 7/6s, huh? And the real question is, do I lead on Tomebound or do I just like Regisaur? Look at that. Perfect. I think I want to just double Reggie. They missed a land drop, right? They were on the play. All right. I smell blood in the water. Let's get them while they're down. Quench. Yep. I mean, that's a legal card. Survey says doesn't have lands, has plenty of quenches. Got it. Get it, got it, good. Need to slam a Cavalier next turn. So that's how it's gonna be, eh, opponent? That's how it's gonna be, huh? Do I get another turn, opponent? Nope. So, next turn, I can Blood for Bones my Cavalier, return the 7/6 and return the Cavalier. I can also just put two 7/6s into play, right? I think I just do that, right? I want to put Lethal into play. I could also lead on Chart and try and find a Thought Erasure. I'm going to lead on Chart and try and find a Thought Erasure. Although this means I can't play around Quench, which kind of sucks. Woohoo! They took the bait, chat. They took the bait. Mapai! Thank you for the 3-month resub. Welcome back. I would like to pick that one back up with my trigger. Do you have a second negate? You do. Womp womp. We were the one who was being baited the whole time. Wonder if we're gonna see them tick this up and blow it up this turn. We could see them tick it to 3, untap with Reclamation, and then crack this right away. Rats. Nope, just taking a turn. Got it. I was having... Arena could detect that I was having too much fun after that first game. And decided to let that sinking feel of the actual reality of Standard slip in. It's like, Hogland was having fun. Must send Nexus. You know, I was thinking it's almost lunchtime. This seems like the perfect opportunity to do that. Seems like the perfect opportunity to do that. I'm gonna see what's in my freezer for lunch. Oh, I got a turn. I got a turn. Just kidding though, because your creature's gonna die, and even if it didn't die, you wouldn't have a combat step. Lol, thinking your turn would do something. You know what? Life's too short, chat. Life's too short. Are you miserable? Because I'm miserable. Let's do something else. I have no desire to play against Wilderness Reclamation. My rank this season is irrelevant because the thing that you qualified for is the same as 2 months ago. So let's just concede the Reclamation matchups and play matches of Magic that might be interesting. Let's just try and find some other kind of fun. I play games for fun. You need to buy some foils? Maybe. Yeah, if everyone collectively concedes to Nexus, it's gonna boost the win rate of the deck in WotC's data and make it more likely that it gets banned. So, by conceding to Nexus, I'm basically doing a public service. Need to inflate its win rate. Sure. Got a lot of lands, but hopefully Tomebound Lich is going to help us filter through them. We're on the play. Yeah, I agree, Winding Road. I'm hoping we're going to see a Reflector Mage-esque announcement on Monday. So what is your position on adding white lands to this deck so we can cast our Zetalpa? I think it would help in top decking situations. Plus, we could put black-white scry lands in. I'm not expert. The scry lands. Hey, thanks for the biddies, Astro. Putting in some off-color scry lands is an interesting idea. I don't know. The fact that it needs like double white feels like it's asking a lot. Like if it was single white, I'd be all for the splash. But like the number of white sources, even at 8 to cast a double white spell, is like pretty high. Oh yeah, I should definitely get 2 memes ready for Monday. My Monday should be like a this is fine with the house burning down meme, and I also should have a praise whatever meme. I feel like I need to be prepared for both directions. Maybe they'll do us right. Mostly share it because the Twitch reminder takes up half the chat memes. Thanks for the 5 months, dog. Doge. Monday is the next update to Magic's banned and restricted list announcement. I'd assume it's going to be no changes in all formats. I think they're going to take our thing. It's not a good scene for us. Yeah, so no changes in all formats to him. They're going to unban Ferocidon. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I talked about this earlier. And maybe it's just because it's summer. But the queue times have been really long the last couple of days, especially what I would expect them to be around set release. So I wouldn't be super surprised if their numbers aren't great right now. And that might prompt them to actually make changes. Are we supposed to move off of the reanimation plan in this matchup just because my opponent taking my reanimated thing sounds really terrible for us? What if I like just put in Agent of Treachery? What if I do this? I leave Blood for Bones because like looping Cavalier could be silly. And like I do this. That seems fine. Do I want Duress? I'm not sure they have enough non-creatures for Duress to be good. I'm hoping for just no changes in all formats, but also vague references to data. Not with the vague references to data they haven't actually released are my favorite. It's like everything is fine. Trust us, peons. Trust us. Trust us. I mean, all right, so someone said it's hard to keep up. Is it actually that hard to keep up on Arena? So, like, for instance, I don't even make an effort to free to play, and I regularly have 50 to 70 packs every season when a new set releases. And to get basically every card in the set, you need 200 packs. So for even just the $50 pre-release pack, plus my packs that I got from just playing the game, I'd have like 100 packs a set for like 50 bucks. And like, if a set releases every 3 months, 50 bucks divided by 3 is like, what, like $15 a month or so? Like, that's not much for an entertainment budget, right? Yeah, but someone not playing like a job and just like maximizing free to play by like playing constructed events instead of ranked, they'd probably have more than I do, I would bet. All right, well, we're taking the payoffs and hoping for the best. Old Fblthp here. We should play Tristani in the sideboard as a reanimation target. That could be funny. Getting to play Tristani in the green-white bow deck was great. Definitely enjoyed that. Land. Perfect. Show me all secrets. They didn't have any secrets, chat. They didn't have any secrets. I think I'm just supposed to hold up Negate here because they rip a Planeswalker. I'd be really sad. Brutal. Brutal. I guess this is actually a good rip. Makes that less brutal. This just like trades even Stevens here. Sure, but you don't have to like, there is so much distance, there is so much reasonable middle set between like, who's saying you need to complete each set? Is anybody reasonable being like, you have to complete the Magic set to like have a good experience? Like that kind of seems like nonsense to me. Like there's plenty of Magic to enjoy without being a completionist. Oh, maybe I should have played Charter Course there. Yeah, I probably should have played Charter Course there. I want to hold the gate up here just in case they rip a Nissa or something. Sure, but you also don't have to have every standard playable card. Like again, there's a lot of room between every standard playable card and I have a lukewarm take. The people who state that the metagame shifts to the point of making entire decks that were once good unplayable are overreaching. I think a lot of the time when people think the metagame has shifted to make their pet deck unplayable, the brutal truth is that their pet deck was always bad and they just finally played more with it to realize it's bad. All right, what do I want to do here? So, how do you feel about like Biomancer, attack for 3, play a Regisaur? I think I like that. It's a Cavalier. Okay, so I get to ditch this, attack for 3, and then I'll play this, and the next turn we'll ditch the Blood for Bones, play Cavalier of Night. Land. Perfect. Land is great because land means that I get to empty my hand this turn. I don't think that deck was ever very good. That's just like a prime example of what I'm talking about. We called it memekin for a reason. Oh, I could have done this first and attacked with my choo-choo, right? Yeah, probably. This is a good one.
Strange and magnificent world.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. You know, I probably should have just attacked them. I don't know. This makes 3/3s every turn.
How rude.
I think you can go back to the price point, and I'm saying I disagree with you on the price point thing. I think blaming the price point is probably missing the mark. That was my point of having a discussion, and other people were engaging with my point. I think claiming the price point's the real issue is missing the mark. All right, so next turn I get to slam both of these this way, and they have to block both or Nissa dies, and then I get to draw 2 and hopefully find something useful out of that. We might see them double block Cavalier to kill it, but if they double block Cavalier to kill it, I get to get back a toy. Not surprised to see them trade with the 7/6 here, but that's still like pretty reasonable for me overall, I think. Yikes. Yikes.
The land shall call.
Okie doke. And now here's the tough part. Like, now next turn their Nissa's gonna go to 5, which means that I'm not gonna, they don't have to chump block next turn, so they're gonna be able to get more things into play. The opponent is playing blue-green mass manipulation. We played a Bant version of something similar yesterday, and a couple other times. No, they're not Nexus of Fate. Ooh, buddy. You made this? I made this. Ew. You can always find the deck list on your screen. You can also type !deck in chat to get a direct link to the deck list. How does my Nissa make you feel, opponent? The problem with Teferi, MTG Succulent, is that if people wanted to play Hearthstone, they would load up Hearthstone. And Teferi taking away one of the things that makes Magic the most interesting, the interactivity and the stack and the responses, makes people not want to play Magic because it takes one of the things they love about the game and says, nah, brah, you don't get to do that today. Oh, if just like any of these cards were a second land, this would be a keep. God bless the London Mulligan, chat. I'm gonna ditch this Blood for Bones here. To go 1, 2, 3. It's just elementary. What could it be? Worth noting that Rotting Regisaur Negate is not really a combo. Wow. Wow, they didn't have an accelerant. Am I gonna get negated here? No accelerant smells like negate out of them? Really? Okay, so we're just gonna take their Jade Light and then hope to run them down. We've not played a Bant Scapeshift deck. We have, however, played a mono green and green black Scapeshift deck, which are actually, I have a the decks pages have been getting updated on my website, and the mono green build is my preferred at the moment. You can find that there. That's an Issa on top. Definitely staying there. All right, so I'm gonna bin this land. It's teasing me, chat. It's teasing me. All right, we're gonna decide this decision with math. All right, we've got 20 lands. We've got, if we're better than a coin flip, I'm gonna go for it. All right, hyper geometric calculator. We got 50 cards in our deck. 20 of them are lands. I want to look at 2. I want 1 land. We're 64.5% to hit a land tier. 64.5%. Never lucky. Never lucky. Stupid math. What's it done for me lately? Stupid math. Is this the same hand? I feel like it's the same hand. Maybe something over here is different. It's pretty close to the same hand. I think I'd rather play this out, because if I jam this, I'm less likely to hit land 5 on curve for this, and it's going to chew up my hand while we wait to get there.
I have not survived millennia to stand down now. Blood calls to your soul.
Trade. Land. Do I just do this? I think I just do this. God, that's brutal. Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I think we're pretty close to, if not at the floor for Mythic. Do I play and pop this, or do I just like jam this Regisaur and slam? I think I just start slamming. I think it's just like Roddy Dino time. Yeah, it's hard to know, Sniper. Like I said, everybody's still pretty much in the testing phase, so like we don't actually know if things have gotten better. In fact, Ollie had tweeted last night that he was still pretty miserable. Which I think it's too early to really know, but there is a very real chance that like nothing has changed. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead here. Sorin plus Vanguard's really sweet. Giving this lifelink and 1/1 counter so that again you have life to pay for itself. Why'd you switch out Elves of Deep Shadow for Boreal Druids? Because the deck has more copies of Painlands in it now. Because we have an on-color Horizon Canopy land, you take more damage from your mana base, and you also have more black sources in your mana base. It's gonna bring in some removal spells here. Regisaur gets stonewalled in a matchup like this, like you saw there. But it just like sits there with plenty of blockers, so just like having a big dumb 7/6 isn't that big of a deal. And thanks for the 5 months, Vanderwell. I appreciate it. And to the people who are frustrated with Teferi, I get it. But remember, it rotates out in just 15 short months. And this fall, there's going to be a new non-rotating format that'll be incredibly different than the standard format, right? Oh, wait. No, it'll be the exact same thing. JK. JK. That's kind of rude. I think I just take that, right? No, but it'll be the same as standard right now. So if you don't like standard right now, the new format's not going to be any different. Alright, so do I Cruelty something here? Or do I play and hit Biomancer? I think I play and activate Biomancer, because the next turn I can Blood for Bones, right? We actually haven't flipped Zetalpa into play yet, so this is gonna be kind of sweet. Super glad we ripped their Conclave Tribunal away here. No blocks. We're not blocking because they can pay 3 to give this +3/+3. Yep. So we take 5. Their things get bigger. I mean, this format technically doesn't exist in paper yet, so it's hard to know. You go to the battlefield, you go to my hand. Thank you. Do the shuffle. I missed 2 points of damage. You are correct that I should attack first and not miss 2 points of damage. Big dumb dinos. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Don't you do it. Don't you despark my dino. Don't you show me contempt. Grid. Get that one out of there. Like, I could gamble and, like, chart a course there to, like, hit my land and go chart Cruelty, but I think I just want a guaranteed killer thing this turn. See, the thing is, in paper, you have to look the person across from you in the eye. When you play Teferi, it's harder to do that, knowing that person could easily reach across the table. Now, it's just a children's card game. Do not incite violence. Sorin's a really interesting design, because, like, on the surface, he doesn't impact the board the turn you play him, but his down tick does, right? We got to Zetalpa someone at least before we were done, so, like, we got that going for us. Got to do the thing at least once. 13-year-olds are children. In fact, I'd argue many people I know who are in their 20s are children. How good is Teferi against this deck? Incredibly good. I, like, take all this effort to, like, put my thing into play, and my opponent's just like, bounce your thing. In fact, Teferi being good against this deck is why I have Agent of Treachery. So, like, against Teferi decks, you're going to cut the Zetalpas and board these in as an extra reanimate target. So that way you have something that's good to get back that doesn't care if it gets bounced. Pretty happy with how I sideboarded. Do I want Vraska's Contempt in this matchup? I might want Vraska's Contempt. Maybe I trim Chart a Course. It doesn't seem unreasonable. Sure. Yep. My body is ready for this to get desparked or Conclave Tribunaled. But I'm not here to not do the thing, so let's go. They bounce the thing you steal with Agent. Not if you steal Teferi himself. Not if you steal Teferi himself. Like, do we not know how Adapt works, opponent? Feeling like we don't know how Adapt works. I'm gonna just grasp this turn, I think. Just keep their board in check. Huh. I suppose if I ditch the Primal Tide, I can protect that from a removal spell. That still like qualifies as doing the thing. I'm gonna take the conservative line. Get our Biomancer hits in. If we get Nezahal down, and then, like, Nezahal holds down the, starts attacking while Cavalier of Night holds down the fort, we're probably in a pretty fine spot. Tradesies, that's so good for me. Maybe they're planning to like kill both my threats so that way I can't Blood for Bones. I could see that being a line they're into. Oh no! Oh no! They have the technology, chat. You're a monster. That's so incredibly rude. That's so incredibly rude. Why would you do that? What did my graveyard ever do to you, opponent? No, it's fine. I get to end step activate this, untap Blood for Bones. I just don't have the luxury of playing around a removal spell anymore. Yeah, I can't grasp Ashiok. Woohoo! Yeah, boy! Yeah, boy! Get it. Get it. I don't even know if it's right to attack the Ashiok there, but it felt good on the inside. And as a millennial, I'm all about just doing the things that feel good, okay? I had to set the tone. I had to make sure Ashiok understood where I was coming from. Yeah, for people saying she in chat, I'm like 90% sure Ashiok is a gender neutral planeswalker. If someone has a source to cite otherwise, feel free to link it, but I'm pretty sure Ashiok is a they. Lashes out, millennial. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember reading one of their random fanfic or whatever they're called things. That's a good point. Species. Like Ashiok doesn't even have eyes or like the top half of a head. So like, who knows what else is or isn't there? Oh, chat. Chat, they activated my trap card. Okie doke. Hey, at least we got to solidly do our thing at least once, right? We had some good games. We played some reasonable games of Magic the Gathering. I like how we won and we won but we moved down. I'm pretty sure we won and moved down there. We were like 206, right? Now we're 208. Engineer, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. As far as this is concerned, I don't know if I have any thoughts or feelings on making this specifically better. I felt like at the core, this deck was kinda doing what it wanted to do. We had a little bit of interaction. Cavalier of Night continues to impress me in every deck that I put it into. I felt like we had a good mix of cheap creatures to enable Blood for Bones consistently. Blood for Bones and Bond for Revival, I think I like this split still. There were situations where haste was much better, but there were also situations where like getting two things back was like better as well. So I like the flexibility of having a split there. And again, if you're going to play this deck and run into Teferi decks, I would cut the Zetalpas in those matchups, and that's where the Agent of Treachery is really shine. Mirage Tank, thank you for the 2-month